Something is behind you. You can feel it. You don't know what it is, but you know you have to move, so you push off the ground with everything you have, and your legs don't answer. They move like they're buried in wet sand, slow and heavy and useless, while the thing behind you keeps coming. You've had this dream. Almost everyone has. You wake up with your heart pounding, half convinced that in some real way your body betrayed you. But the real answer is far stranger than tired legs or a bad night's sleep. Your body didn't fail you. It was protecting you, and the exact thing that stopped you from moving fast is the same thing that let you dream at all. To understand it, you have to understand what happens to your body every single night. In a stage of sleep you never feel yourself enter. It's called REM sleep, rapid eye movement. It's the stage where your most vivid dreams unfold, the ones with stories and faces and fear. And during this stage, something remarkable happens. Your brain lights up almost as brightly as it does when you're awake, but your body goes completely limp. This isn't an accident, it's a switch. In the 1950s and 60s, a French neuroscientist named Michel Jouvet was studying sleeping cats. He noticed that during one particular stage of their sleep, their brains were buzzing with activity, while their muscles fell utterly slack. He called it paradoxical sleep because it made no sense. How could a brain be so awake inside a body so still? Then he did something that changed how we understand dreaming forever. He disabled the small region of the brainstem responsible for that stillness, and the sleeping cats stood up. They walked, they arched their backs, they stalked and pounced at things that weren't there. They were acting out their dreams. Think about what that means for a moment. Every night, your brain writes a story so real that your body would try to live it out if it were allowed to. So it isn't allowed to. Deep in your brainstem, a set of circuits floods your motor neurons with signals that say one thing: stay down. This is called REM atonia. Atonia simply means loss of muscle tone. It's a paralysis your brain switches on the moment you start to dream and switches off the moment you wake. Why would evolution build something like this? Because a body that acts out its dreams is a body in danger. Imagine your ancestor, asleep in the dark, dreaming of a hunt. If his legs ran while he slept, he'd run off a cliff. If her arms swung at a dream predator, she'd strike the ground, or the child beside her. The ones who lay still while they dreamed survived to have more children. So the stillness got passed down. You inherited it. Every night, you are gently, invisibly held in place by a mechanism older than language. And here's where your slow legs finally make sense. When you dream that you're running, your brain sends out the commands. Move this leg. Now the other. Push, lift, drive forward. But those commands hit a wall. The atonia is holding your muscles offline, so nothing actually moves. And that's only half the problem, because moving your body isn't just about sending commands out. It's about the flood of information that comes back in. When you run in waking life, your muscles, your joints, and your inner ear send a constant stream of feedback to your brain. Your calf reports its stretch. Your knee reports its angle. Your eyes report the world rushing past. Your brain uses all of it, thousands of signals a second, to build the feeling of speed. In the dream, all of that feedback is gone. Your muscles are silent. Your eyes see nothing real. So your brain is trying to simulate the experience of sprinting with almost none of the data it normally relies on. Have you ever tried to walk on a foot that's fallen asleep? That strange, disconnected, half-there sensation, where your brain sends the command but the signal comes back scrambled. Your dream body feels a little like that. The intention is there. The confirmation never arrives. So your brain does the best it can. It generates a version of running that's slow, thick, and effortful because it simply doesn't have enough information to generate a fast one. You're not weak in the dream, you're underinformed, and there may be something even stranger going on with time itself. Two sleep researchers, Daniel Ehrlicher and Michael Schriedel, wanted to know whether actions in dreams take the same amount of time as actions in waking life. This is hard to study because you can't normally send a message out of a dream. So they worked with lucid dreamers, people who know they're dreaming while it happens and who can signal to researchers by moving their eyes in an agreed pattern. The dreamers signaled, performed a set task inside the dream, then signaled again. And when the researchers measured the gaps, they found something odd. The tasks took longer in the dream than they did awake. especially the physical ones. Movement in the world of dreams seems to run slow. Sit with that. It's not only that you feel slow when you dream, time itself may stretch so that every stride costs more than it should. Now put the whole picture together, because this is where it turns into a trap. You're being chased, you feel the panic, you need to move fast, and your brain floods with urgency. But urgency demands exactly the thing your dreaming body cannot deliver: a fast, powerful, coordinated escape. The command goes out, nothing comes back, and so you try harder, which raises the panic, which sharpens the need to move, which the atonia refuses again. The harder you fight it, the more stuck you become. Your terror and your stillness feed each other in a loop, and that loop is the nightmare. It isn't the monster behind you, it's the gap between what you desperately want your body to do and what it's physically able to do while it sleeps. Some lucid dreamers report a way out of the loop, and it's the opposite of instinct. When they stop straining, when they stop trying to force the sprint and simply let the movement happen calmly, the body sometimes cooperates. Less panic means fewer conflicting signals. Fewer signals means a cleaner simulation. The dream loosens its grip, but almost nobody does this in the moment, because when something is chasing you, calm is the last thing your ancient brain will allow. This is why the dream feels so universal. It isn't. Not exactly. But the machinery behind it is. Across cultures, across centuries, being chased and being unable to flee is one of the most commonly reported dreams on Earth. The researcher Tora Nielsen, who has spent decades cataloging the themes that show up in human dreams, found that the chase and the frozen escape appear again and again in people who have never met and never will. You are not having your dream. You are having the human dream, the same one your ancestors woke from in the dark 10,000 years ago, hearts pounding, legs finally free. And maybe that's the strangest part of all, because the slow legs aren't a flaw in the dream. They're a fingerprint of how the dream is made. Every time your body refuses to run, it's quietly proving something extraordinary, that a large part of what you experience as reality is a simulation your brain constructs, moment to moment, out of signals it expects to receive. Take those signals away, and the simulation frays at exactly the edges you'd predict. Speed goes first, then force, then the fine control of your own limbs, which raises a question you might not want to ask while you're awake. If your brain builds the feeling of running out of feedback, and it can be so completely fooled when that feedback disappears, then how much of your waking movement is real, and how much is your brain filling in a story it expects to be true? You already know that feeling, though you may never have named it. The dream of pushing hard and going nowhere isn't only a dream, it's the meeting you can't get through, the goal you sprint toward that never seems closer, the effort that swallows everything you have and returns almost nothing. Your dreaming brain built a perfect metaphor for it long before you had the words, and it built that metaphor by accident, out of silent muscles and missing signals in the dark. So the next time it happens, and it will, try to remember what's really underneath it. The thing behind you isn't real. Your slow legs are not weakness. They are a 200-million-year-old safety switch doing exactly what it was built to do, holding your body still and safe while your mind runs wild. Something is behind you, and for the first time, you understand that the reason you cannot run is the very same reason you are still lying safe in your bed.